Hello students, this is Sane BV from KJ Somaya College Kopaga. We are studying agricultural chemistry. Our chapter number 1 is soil chemistry and today's lecture is lecture number 5. So today we are going to discuss factors which are controlling soil reactions. The factors influencing soil reactions are, there are different factors. Number 1 is nature, number 2 is concentration, third one is type of colloidal material, fourth one is nature of exchangeable cations, fifth one is parent material, sixth one is climate, seventh one is culture practices, and last one and eighth one is soil to water ratio. These are factors influencing soil reactions. So nature we will discuss first chapter, that is nature of colloidal particles. So in case of inorganic colloids, the dissociation of clay particles varies with type of clay minerals. There are different types of minerals which are present in that clay, so that dissociation is directly depends on type of clay minerals. The adsorbed cations which surround the micelle dissociate in soil solution. So due to the concentration and nature of dissociated cation, the pH of soil solution is affected. That's why sodium micelle plus H2O Na plus OH, sodium micelle plus H2O, you will get Na plus OH minus plus H micelle. So under natural conditions, the clay micelle holds a variety of cations. That clay micelle which holds different types of cations tightly, some of which liberates H plus ions and some other clay particles liberates OH minus ions on dissociation. That's why the pH of solution depends on the relative proportion of absorbed cations. So our next point or point number 2 is soil solution. So what is soil solution? Soil solution carries a number of salts dissolved in capillary water. The concentration of cations in bulk of the solution is more or less the same as the near of the particle size. The pH of the soil lowers by the intermingling of cations. There are different types of cations which already have present in our soil, and that's why the pH is directly affected by that cations which are present in our soil. So it is depends on the pH which is lowers by the intermingling of the cations released from unsaturated clays. The increase in acidity depends on the concentration of salts and valency of the electrolyte cations added to soil solution. So these are different types of cation which changes the pH of soil solution. So our third point or point number 3 is climate and parent material. These are also controlling soil reaction. So soil reaction depends a lot on the rainfall and temperature of the region. Soil formed in high rainfall region are acidic, while those of low rainfall regions are alkaline. So in this case, soil reaction is also influenced by the presence of carbon dioxide in soil and air. As carbon dioxide concentration increases, soil pH is also decreases. Pedosols, brown earth laterites and other red and yellow soils are also acidic, while chemozyms, chestnuts and grey desert soils are alkaline in reaction. So soil reaction particularly independent of parent material from which the soil has been formed. So our next point is soil management. Soil acidity increases due to the cultural operations. The continuous use of fertilizers changes the pH of soil very drastically. Then third point is the soil reaction is also controlled by the state of oxidation or reduction. So we use different types of fertilizers in our soil. That fertilizers changes the soil pH drastically. So fertilizers like ammonium sulfate increases soil acidity, while NaNO3 makes it more alkaline. Then lime and gypsum also modify the soil reaction. When we add some lime and gypsum, formerly it's reducing acidity, and later it's reducing alkalinity. The reduction increases pH, while oxidation decreases pH value in our soil. The pH of waterlogged soil is high, so it is more alkaline than when it is well aerated soil. So our next point is root hairs. Here we can see graphical representation. In this representation, there are soil particles. That soil contains different types of aggregate soil colloidal particles which contains trapped air or air pockets and water canals or water droplets. So that soil particles hold different types of mineral material, air gaps or air pockets and water droplets in that particles. So that soil particle holds that the water droplets and air pockets. So our next point is soil acidity and buffer action. So in this soil acidity and buffer action, the first point is reserved and active acidity. So what is reserved and active acidity? Acid clay contains excess of H plus ions. So concentration of H plus ions is diffused double layer is greater than in true solution. The H plus ion present in the diffuse layer constitute what is known as reserve exchangeable or potentially acidity, while those present in soil solution give rise to active acidity. Both the H plus ions are in dynamic equilibrium. So in case of depletion of H plus ions layer from soil, the reserve H plus ions comes forward and maintain the acidity of soil and thus maintain the pH of the soil. A definite change in pH will only take place if all the available H plus ions are completely neutralized and OH minus ions begin to appear in the solution. So our next point, in this graphical representation we can see exchange of cations. So clay particles contains Ca2 plus. There are another clay particles which contains K plus. So there is exchange of cations takes place between soil particles. And here in our next diagram, in our next picture, we can see diffuse layer or double layer of cations. In this diagram, we can see acidity, soil having different types of pH or varying pH. So pH 0 to pH 5, it is acidic, and it causes nutrient deficiency and toxicity. So Fe, Mn and aluminium toxicity. So to improve the quality of soil, we have to apply some lime. Then neutral pH, that is pH 6 to pH 8. That pH are optimum pH for plant growth. So this pH is required for proper plant growth. Then alkaline pH or highly alkaline pH ranges are also there. The alkaline pH is pH 8 to pH 9. This is alkaline, or above 9 to 14 it is highly alkaline pH. That pH which is highly alkaline, it means it is from 9 to 14, it causes nutrient deficiencies or toxicities like carbonate, then bicarbonate, then aluminates and sodicity. So consider tolerant species. For in this pH we can only consider about some that pH tolerant species. So here we can see pH range from acidic to highly alkaline, and the neutral pH or the proper pH for optimum pH for proper plant growth is 6 to 8. So in our next point we will discuss buffer action. So what is buffer action? The pH of an acid clase does not change on addition of an alkali or alkaline solution because of the dissociation of H plus ions from the colloidal surface into soil solution. The resistance offered by the colloidal particles to the change in reaction is called buffer action. Buffer action is nothing but the resistance offered by the colloidal particles to change in reaction is called buffer action, and the system is said to be buffer. So, a number of substances, especially weak acids, both minerals and organic and their salts, possesses buffer action as their power of dissociation is very poor. Even on high dilution, there are very slightly dissociated like carbonic acid, boric acid, then phosphoric acid, acetic acid, citric acid, etc. are the weak acids which are generally present in the soil aqueous forms and which are liberated very little amount of free H plus ions. So different types of clay minerals which are complex aluminosilicates acids are also weak acids. The colloidal complex of this substance acts as a powerful buffer in soil and does not allow rapid and sudden change in the soil reaction. The buffer capacity of soil lies in the reserve or absorbed H2 or cation content of the colloidal complex, and it is varies with its cation exchange capacity. So what is buffer capacity? A number of substances, especially weak acid, both mineral and organic and their salts, possesses buffer action as their power of dissociation. The action is effective only within a certain pH range, and the range depends on the type of acids or base present. As soon as the acid or base buffer is neutralized and the buffer action disappears. Buffer capacity of soil is defined as a soil's ability to maintain a constant pH level during action on it by an acidifier or alkalisant agent. A soil considered a mixture of buffered system which contains components which have the ability to neutralize acids by bonding H plus ions as well as the bases by the release of hydrogen ions. So here we can see buffering capacity or diagrammatic representation of buffer capacity of soil. So here it is at the top of that diagram there is low buffer capacity on small amount of amendment required to change the pH. Then below that there is a moderate buffer capacity at that soil is sandy loam or loam silt type of soil, and last one or ground soil or ground field is clay loams or high organic matter which is peat or organic material which is present in that soil, that soil having high buffering capacity. There is large amount of amendment required to change the pH. So our today's lecture we will discuss our today's lecture we already have discussed about climate and parental material, reverse and active acidity, buffer action, buffer capacity, and importance of buffer capacity in agriculture chemistry. So in our next topic we will discuss ion exchange mechanism. So thank you so much.